to the Cooler Women's Wellness Tribe, the podcast. Get comfortable, or get your walking shoes on, and let's get going. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Cooler. And I have a very special guest today, and we're going to cover all the favourite things: spirituality, fashion, energy, frequency, and this woman has it all. This woman has it all to share. So we have Margeri. She is here today, and I'm going to just share this straight away. Who recently got engaged. She just told me before the call. So I'm going to put everything about her in the show notes. So drop her a little congratulations on her socials. So congratulations. So she is the founder of Kimono Girl, and you're going to find out all about this shortly. She's been mentioned in Forbes Middle East, British Vogue, and she is a pioneer for energy fashion. Again, you'll find out what that is. It's absolutely amazing. And she's also a spiritual goddess. So the whole package we have here for you today. So welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. And this introduction was amazing. I'm very, very honored to even hear that. So thank you for the intro. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to sharing some more knowledge about energy fashion today.
Yes. And yeah, it's amazing. It is magical. So as my listeners will know, that energy, frequency, and you literally blended that with another love of most women, which is fashion. So tell me a little bit about your background before we get into the nitty-gritty. Where are you from? Where did you start, and how did you get to where you are today?
Yes, well, my background is corporate, as simple as that. Even though I've been a little bit doing startup here and there, never on my own. But yeah, corporate, climbing that corporate ladder from over 10 years. And, needless to say, it was very male dominant, very masculine energy, and which was necessary to survive. And I did very well with it. But then as a result, it took me, I'm still working on it. It takes a long time to learn back to and gain back the feminine energy. And that's also one of the, goal and vision I had for creating Kimono Girl, and is to empower women, but not in masculine energy, but in feminine energy. Yeah. So that's a little bit about my background.
Yeah, and I totally resonate with that. I think I've done a podcast on coming from an education setting and just being in this masculine world. And then when I feel like my feminine energy was just inside, like, let me out. And she was screaming to be released. But it is hard when you actually do leave that environment to step into your feminine, because it feels wrong, doesn't it? You feel like you're not doing what you should be doing.
Yeah, it's almost I found myself hiding it. And then also Western society rewards the masculine energy. Mm-hmm. It's all about be your own, like make your own money, pay your own rent, be independent. But it's actually like being independent doesn't need to mean that, oh my God, I pay my own rent, or like, which you can do anyway, because, nowadays there is so much other feminine industries that you can really feel empowered, and where it also the money is. But I definitely noticed that in order for me to be heard in a boardroom, I had to sometimes like even stop people, like to not overtalk me. Like, can I please finish my sentence? And that was so shocking for them, because they didn't even notice it. And when I did it, they're like, oh, you've been aggressive. But me, I'm an aggressive as a woman, but for man, it's assertive, right? Yeah. So it was constantly this battle, constantly. And I was very few of the women who was managed to be like this, meaning I saw so many women just, not making it, because they just like, like take a step back, be more feminine, don't talk with your hands, listen, all of these things, which otherwise are very good qualities, but not in a boardroom with financial guys full of bankers, technology, like founders, whatever. So that's definitely 10 years of doing that. You become as a side note, it also affected my relationships, because whilst I do find myself very feminine, I wanted a strong partner, right? I wanted this masculine man. But masculine man and me being masculine as well, we end up evening having a date, and I bring the masculinity with me, and he is not interested. And also now looking back, it was super unfair, and I was also, it was heavy for me. You know, it was more about, you can't get rid of this energy. You just like, and it affected a lot of my relationships. Until I was lucky enough, well, COVID helped, because I think COVID for everyone was like, what am I doing with my life? You know, so I did quit my job during COVID when I got stuck in Dubai. And I was Dubai actually really, and you live in Dubai as well. We met in Dubai. That's why I think you can relate. Somehow really increased my vibrations here. Maybe it's the sun, maybe it was the water, maybe it was the outdoors compared to London where I lived, you know, and you're also from UK. So we have a lot of things in common. And then I think my energy was so high, or like I didn't expect anything, I didn't look for anything, I was just happy. And then I got lucky of meeting my current partner, who's my fiance now, and he truly allowed me to be in my feminine divine, like truly, because he was the strong man whilst letting me be on my own. And like 2 years I worked towards this energy. I still have overlaps, you know, but we're getting there. So
yeah. Oh, I love that story. And yeah, definitely, it's during COVID when I made the decision as well to leave teaching, to leave education. And I think, through COVID, I think Dubai is just like, I don't know, do they say it about New York, the city of opportunities? But I feel like here there's just such an eclectic mix of people and multicultural, and you're talking to people from different backgrounds and different places. And coming from the UK, in the UK, most of my friends, well, they were all British. Even when moving here, I didn't really have any Irish friends. And then and it's just across the sea. And I think here you're just opened up to, wow, there's a whole world here. And obviously you have got the glitz and the glam and the bling. And I think just being exposed to that, not that I wouldn't say I'm part of the bling, but just seeing that, just driving along, I drive a Mini, I haven't got a fancy car, but passing the Porsche, passing the Ferrari, and rather than thinking, oh, look at them in that car, I think here it's like, wow, well done. And you sort of pick up that energy and that frequency of, I can have a Ferrari if I want to. And exactly. I think it's just that vibe here that it's everyone's welcome to have it. It's yours if you want it.
It's very interesting what you said, like, because I never thought about it like this, but it completely is true. Like you can have the glitz and glam and you can feel like I can have it. And then you have the spiritual side. You can go on the beach, like Kite Beach is like recent my favorite, like walk there on your barefoot in the water. You don't even feel you're in Dubai. And then you have this restaurants, but then you have like vegan places in like a garden, or like the Seva experience, right? It's so like, it's almost like a video game. It's like you just choose which genre you want to do it today. And not that we plan to talk about Dubai, but I do need to mention that a lot of people think, oh, it's such a Muslim country, it's like how they treat women here is very like different from Western. And I think 5 years ago when I was offered a job here, and I was like, no way, it was different, because the way like man talked to me or looked at me, the energy, we're all about energy, right? And now it's changed. Like the woman empowerment here is like they put so much effort towards it. There is women entrepreneurs, there is so much Western. I have more girlfriends here within 2 years than I had in 11 years in London. And they're having like a true friends, like they're having my back. It's not like just let's act on it. Like truly people that call me for my birthday, we hang out, we help each other with business. It's incredible. So I'm really surprised to see how great this Dubai.
It is. It's the rise of the feminine, even in the places where you least expect it. So that leads nicely onto you're an entrepreneur. So so you left corporate. How did you come up with or create the idea for Kimono Girl? And it's so magical. So like, just, yeah, share away how you came up with this and then move on to the magic.
It's very, by the way, it wasn't planned. When I quit my job, it wasn't like I'm going to start energy fashion brand. It wasn't like that. I was very overworked. I was literally, the first month I was just sleeping after I quit my job. But we started to travel. I had a gardening leave. I was lucky enough, and traveling in summer to Mykonos, to Ibiza, like island hopping. And I was wearing a kimono instead of pencil skirt and high heels, which was my casual like uniform at Monday to Friday. And wearing this kimono, I had this kind of epiphany. Like I was walking barefoot on the beach, and there was the wind came, and I felt so liberated. I felt so empowered. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the right time, in the right place. And this true empowerment, basically, like the kimono was like my cape and my armor. Yeah. I felt beautiful. I felt, everything you can imagine. And this sensation I had, I wanted to give to other women as well, especially initially to corporate women, because, that's where I'm coming from. I've seen this and I wanted to empower them. And I'm like, wow, okay, interesting. So, but we can't just give them a kimono, not just like a garment, because there's so much out there. We have to make it special and magical. And that's where the energy, vibrations and the healing comes in, because I've done a lot of learning about it. I've experienced a lot for years and years. I come from a Buddhist background, about the mantras, affirmations. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make something so magical that, when a woman will wear it, she will potentially feel the same way I am feeling right now. And that's all you need, because your whole day will shift immediately. And it started also with my girlfriends. My girlfriends were always like having issues, always complaining about, not, I love them very much, don't get me wrong, but girlfriend time, always you talk about, not sure about the partner, not sure about the work, not sure about everything. And I'm like, listen, I'll give you something, you wear it and your day is going to be amazing. And this is exactly what I've done. And we have incredible stories that when people, my ambassadors, well, we don't call our clients, they're our ambassadors. Their life has changed by simply wearing this energy garment. For several reasons. Either really the frequencies was exactly what they needed. Maybe it was a little bit in their head. Maybe it was because they felt so good, like, because if you look good, you feel good, right? So that's how it started, and nobody else had done it, which was a surprise to me. I thought it's like in some shape or form it's done. No. And that's not good because nobody knows to even purchase energy fashion, or that they even need it. So we've done a lot of educational pieces, parts. We're still building the brand, but as energy fashion as such, we're the first one in the market. Yeah. So
oh, wow. Yeah, that's amazing. So how do you get the energy, the frequency onto the kimonos? How does that work?
So firstly, energy is everywhere, right? It's literally, some people still like, challenge me. And then I'm like, okay, shall we talk now scientifically, or shall we talk about your gut feeling? Because both of them are energy, right? And they're like, really? So energy is everywhere. So it's super important to keep it positive, right? And whilst there is so many different ways to do it, like, pet your bed, you have talks, you clearly know dogs give so much energy, go for a walk, or wear like a special garment, right? And special garment, what we do is, first, all of the kimonos start actually with the supplier giving a prayer to their hand. They have a great intention of even starting the garment. And then we have energy, a master. We have a very cool guy named Sam, and he's a certified energy master, Reiki healer, everything you can think of. We do a sacred ceremony with him, with the garments, where he then, does a sound healing. We use sound baths, vibration, Tibetan bells, chants, mantras, sometimes even like, from, we have a playlist as well where we use certain kind of sounds. Anyway, there is a lot of things, and I'm sure about, you've done a lot of them yourself, but it's about the vibration. So it gets, and what I forgot to mention, all garments, all of them have embroidery. So embroidery is like, some of them have little metal in, some of them have the stones. So that also holds it, just not the garment, but the embroidery holds the energy specifically. And all the kimonos come with a mantra. Mantra is a very strong vibration and meaning. So every kimono has a different mantra, which has a different meaning and vibration. And finally, every kimono comes with a letter from the universe that holds then the chants and also instructions how you can activate your own kimono. Because we all have different vibrations, right? I don't want to push you on energy that, you don't need. So we charge them with pure and clean energy. So when you put them on, you're going to say certain things like, I have some letters here, but it basically says that I am choosing you to support me with the energies that are most beneficial to me. I activate you to protect, guide, heal whenever I'm wearing you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Something like that, So, yeah. And every time when you have an important thing like an interview or a date, or you're just feeling a little bit low, you put this kimono on, either just for a little bit to charge, or you're going out because it's a very, very extravaganza, and you will feel better. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing. And they are beautiful as well. So I will put the links in the notes, but they are beautiful. And I can see how even just wearing the kimono, like you said, wearing your favorite clothes, wearing, as women, I know it's seen as, some people don't wear makeup, you're wearing it for men. But if you put makeup on, it makes you feel good. It's raising your vibration. If you wear a pair of heels, now I don't wear heels often anymore, but I know that when I do leave the house and I'm not in yoga stuff and, I'm dressed up, I can feel my different energy. And I think all women will be able to resonate with that when you're dressed up to go out and you've got your heels on, you've got your lipstick on, you've done your hair, and you see your reflection, that energy, that vibration that you then take out with you, compared to the school run or the yoga run or your actual run, just that shape that and like you say, energy is everywhere, and you can change your energy through your clothes, through music that you listen to, the TV that you watch, if you watch the TV. So all of these things, and I know, like you say, you have your skeptics, I'll say, that are just like, oh no, it's, I don't know how anyone can't believe in energy. But there are people out there that will argue that it's not a thing and it doesn't matter, but everything is energy, and everything that we do gives off an energy. So, and your clothes, your kimonos are there to literally raise your vibration, to raise your energy. And I love how you said you can put it on to charge. But that's exactly, it'd be like the ladies listening who might carry crystals in their bra.
Yeah, exactly. Because our kimonos also come with the crystals. So because every kimono is a different element, which means that every element carries a different property. So you should choose an element that you need the most at your life, that moment of time, such as earth for grounding, water for going with the flow, and so on. So every crystal is also aligned for the elements, so whatever you need. So if you can't wear a kimono every day, you can at least take a little crystal with you and wear it. But exactly, it's like a healing. It's a modern healing for people that believe it in that, and more, who do yoga, meditation, and so on. They love the energy fashion factor on it. But people don't believe it. They don't see the value. Actually, funny enough, now when I mention it, I had a lady who said, I love your kimonos so much. They're so luxury. You can see it, but I can't buy it because I'm afraid of the energy, it's like extra, like I have to, not that she thinks it's wrong energy, but she's like, this is like, I need to make a much bigger decision. And I'm here like, what? I'm just doing everything like to make it better and, you know, extra. And now you're saying it's like more difficult for you to choose, you know, it's like, it's that's why, like, if I usually start with, do you believe in energy? And if they don't believe in energy, I have two options. Either like, okay, well, like, bye, or I'm gonna start explaining how, you know, how, like, why she should believe in energy, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't have energy for that to explain it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that all of the time, because I talk about, especially my boyfriend is he's a scientist, so he likes cold hard facts. But
Yeah.
he does, when I talk about energy, he's like, "Meh." He's got like, he puts on his science voice. But he doesn't, you know, I talk about it from a spiritual point of view and he sees it from a science point of view. And they do meet in the middle. It's science meets spirituality when you're talking about energy and frequency. And it's just, once you have that understanding, it literally changes the way that you look at everything. And I don't know about you, I'll tell me a little bit about your spiritual journey, but once you realize how energy helps you through your day, you know, you live in Dubai, the traffic on the roads, and I think I mention this all of the time. You can sit in your car in traffic and get mad at every single person that tries to pull in front or flashes their lights or peeps their horn. And you leave your car with this energy of anger, and you get into the house and you might argue with your partner, or, you know, not eat or eat something unhealthy, or just, and you go to bed angry and you're taking that energy. Or you can sit in the car, you can put on your favorite songs, your favorite podcast, you know, listen, take the time to finish an audio book and think, right, I've got an extra 10 minutes here to sit and do nothing but sit in the traffic. And then the difference in the energy when you leave your car and who, you know, you get into the house and you float into the house instead of storming into the house. And I think that is when you realize that, okay, so the energy, the vibration that I'm choosing literally has an effect on your life, and on other people as well. So if I come in a mood, which I don't anymore because I choose to draw on my positive energy, that my boyfriend gets a hello instead of a, oh my God. So
I think it's very cautious as well. You have to work on it. It's
yes.
like you're gonna find your own like tricks and tips, what works for you. Like for me, it's like the mantras and manifest. Like I say certain things. It's like, and it's so funny now. My boyfriend has started to call them. Well, my fiance has started to call.
Yes.
As calling them spells, right? And I was so like, you know, previously like 10, 20, 30 years ago, like calling someone witch or a spell, it was so negative. But now I find like white witch is such a cool thing. You like, because we all witches. I believe all women are witches. We can create life. We are magic, right? So witches equals to magic as long as it's a positive energy. And the spell, so I've tried it out, you know, I've literally like, I've done a lot of like manifestation and affirmations, and I've changed my life. And there is this book, Magic, literally Magic. It's from the same book, books then from The Secret. So it's quite, but there is 28 days of practice, what you have to do every day. I've done it, the whole thing. And I cannot tell you how my life, like it was crazy how my life changed, to the level that I started finding money on the ground, like hundreds of dollars per day. Like it as an sign. Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna get rich by that exactly, but finding my partner, getting the best job, 3 times more paid than I thought, by just simply doing gratitude exercises, which is equal to spells, apparently. So, and that is like when I'm so mad, and sometimes you are like not so mad, but you have that time of the month, you're emotional, you're hormonal. Maybe I saw a puppy video where they like, you know, like the puppy was found on a street or something, you know, that gets me so like sad, and then I'm angry. And then I start like just saying the same words I'm telling myself, and I not just a few times, I have to say it 5 to 10 minutes, and then suddenly, I change my vibration now.
Yeah.
but it's conscious action. You have to push yourself. It's like going to the gym. You have to go there and you have to run, and then later you feel good, but not wise to do it. It's like, so your life quality depends on that. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. And mantras, affirmations, like when I'm in the car, is the perfect time, because that's not the only place, but the main place where my vibration is tested, because there's other people in the mix. Whereas throughout the day, I can, I have my little mantras and my journal, and I'll sit down and listen to them. And then in the car, the one that I repeat the most is, I wish them love. And there's something else that I say. So I wish them love. I hope they get to where they're going really quickly. I wish them love. They have nothing to do with me, because before I would take it personally that they're pushing in front of me and they're peeping at me and they're driving really quickly behind me. And I really had to switch. And I always use the car as an analogy, because it's just a microcosm of my whole life then. So yeah, my mantras in the morning, making sure that I'm waking up positive. Today is a brand new day, and seeing every day as being reborn. Like, it's brand new.
And I also love to add, and you should do the same, to also challenge the universe in a good way. You should, I am saying, and it's working most of the time, like, thank you for wonderful surprises I'm receiving today. And I say it a few times and I'm like almost excited what I'm going to get today, because most of the days I do. Either I get like a free cup of coffee, or I get a call, or maybe something bigger, like I got engaged one day, it's things like that.
Yeah.
It's like, I need to think more of these things because it's working. And when you see it's working, you get more excited about it. But yeah, I have the same. I'm grateful for another day, like, you're so, like, I literally look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, wow, you're so amazing. And sometimes it's funny, you start laughing, like, come on, you're crazy. Why would you say that? It's, if somebody would see you, they think you're so egoistic, but actually it works. You're like, oh my God, you're so good looking today. What did you do with your hair? So
well, that's it. And like you say, people might say it's egotistical, but the women that, and men, so people are, oh, they love themselves, and they say it as a negative. I'm like, wow, because the vibration that they give off, that feeling, that sensation of they love themselves is magnetic. And I know people do like, oh, they love themselves, and I'm like, wow, yeah, they love themselves. Like, I want to be as magnetic as that make people look at me and go, wow, she really loves herself, because it's real, it's a positive. Like,
yeah, and somebody says, like, I've never met a woman or a man that loves themselves and is struggling in life. Like, they always somehow manage to, have the lavish lifestyle, have the best time, and not just in social media. I mean, I literally know these people, it's like, and you're like, okay, well, there is some secret there. So instead of saying, no, like, come on, be cool, be chill, don't like be out there, it also comes from culture, I think, which country you come from and your what you teach. But now I'm like, you know what, go crazy. Like, honestly, like the max, like every time I go to my car, I talk to my car, hey beauty, I have a name for her, like, and I feel like instead of getting that's actually a very good example that you said. It is sometimes challenging driving here. And I now see that I'm taking my car to play with other cars, so when we're driving, they're all friends and we're driving together. It's like taking your dog to a walk. I'm taking my car to a walk. And then after doing that, it's so much fun. I'm like, okay, let's go here now. We're turning here. And it's almost like, it's either you sound like, think like crazy, or it's playful. You crack the code, like, life is a game. And the energy is so different, so
yeah, totally. And just going back to, so I read today your own spiritual journey, and I read on your website that you spent some time in Nepal. Just share a little bit about that, because I love hearing stories of people's spiritual awakenings, or when you find this path.
Absolutely. How did it happen? Well, actually, I've raised very spiritual. Like Estonia, I'm coming from Estonia. It's a super tiny country. I mean, 1 million people, 1 million Estonians plus some Russians. But we, because we were occupied so many times, the religions walk over us, so we weren't really converted. So what happened was we became pagans. Pagans actually means like, forest healing, forest. You listen to yourself, you believe in higher self, but you're not. There is no Jesus or Allah, or there is nothing directly, but we're very spiritual. So when I grew up, already then all of the healings came from the forest. It was about how you think, how you feel, like why are you sick, why not, like we spoke with the forest, like we spoke with trees, we thanked them. It's very almost native, and it started from there. And then my parents found Buddhism, because we weren't converted to the other biggest religions. And from Buddhism, I believe Buddhism is so beautiful because it's acceptance of everything. It's almost like, soft version of the other hardcore religions, where you don't actually have to, suffer, or, really beg for forgiveness and all of these things. Everyone's accepted. And then as life goes on, I mean, I just somehow, I really think like I'm more advanced in this life, but when I born already, so which means previous lives as well, I think I was a witch, I think I was all of these things, because 100 years ago, like I can't imagine. But then, yeah, I'm let me think. I've done so much, from ayahuasca to living with Nepal with the monks, as you mentioned. Well, in silence, we meditated with them, we learned about them, we ate with them, um, and that was very, very enlightening when you have to sit there with your own thoughts. But again, like I've done other retreats where which is more intrusive maybe, and then you start seeing, like, you go to completely cosmic origins where you can see which planets you're coming from, and so on. And of course, even telling these things out loud, a lot of people don't actually accept it. They're like, okay, this is too far.
Yeah.
But going to a little bit less, I mean, why I feel so aligned, I mean, like I do yoga, I meditate, I'm a first level Reiki 1 certificate, healing with hands. At the end of the day, why I created Energy Fashion is because, again, I know for sure that all our life is energy. And if you know how to manipulate it in a good way, you can completely change yours and people around your life, with money, with wealth, with health, like all of these, the three things we need can be done immediately. Like anyone can change like their life drastically by just changing their energy. And there is so many tools. Once again, like one of our slogan is like, energy is everywhere, make it fashion, right?
Yes.
But personally as well, like I do love these small things, daily things, meditation, the affirmations, spending time with the good people. I love also women's circles, in terms of like, because I think the society is still very much like making women fight or towards to each other, or like, compete with each other. But then when you go to the circles, which sometimes is like, even for me, to be honest, was like a few years ago, I was like, okay, this is too much, it's, but you go there, you do this chants together, you do certain movements, you like, I was transferred back to like forest, like when I was like a different life. I was like, are we in a forest around the fire? The really like the urge of the earth and everything came like up, and I love it. So I think this is also incredible, and we should organize something. By the way, I was thinking, like, I know you're doing retreats sometimes, or like the yoga classes, and I've been thinking of doing something with Kimono Girls so long, like to do something like Kimono Girl and some retreat, like yoga, get some other energy. I think there is energy jewellery, there is some candles, maybe do a proper like event with even man and woman. I'm thinking man because I have so many men coming to me who wants to be empowered. They're like, can I have a kimono, please? I need to be empowered. Like,
and I think, and men do, and I know that a lot of women listening to this, but I did a podcast a few weeks ago on masculine and feminine energy, and we both need both. And I think it gets lost that women talk about coming back to their feminine, and we need the masculine, but so do men. I kind of feel that we push them like, right, it's very masculine environment, so send in the men and get the women out. But men need feminine energy as well. Men need it's the yin and yang. We all need to have our balance, and I can't blame men who are reaching out. So the same week with my Healy, men want to find their yin and a yang, and they want to start stepping away. So 100% they need to get the men involved. And I agree with what you're saying with the sister circles as well. The first time I went, I went on my own, and I don't know, because you've never met these women before, and sometimes I'm a little bit introvert, but I feel that when I go to sister circles, my shy, introverted self she just disappears, because everyone is equal there. Everyone is one, and everyone is there for the same reason. And coming back to our roots of hundreds of years ago, when as women we would gather together, we would bleed together, we would look after each other, we would be, we'd be each other's midwives before the medical, I can't think what the word is, pharmaceuticals stepped in and medicine became very masculine. It was all women, and it was the patriarchy that came in and then started labeling women as witches. They're just looking after each other and helping each other, and we have that very naturally within us. We're caring, we're nurturing. If we can use a plant, if I can go in my garden and make something to make you feel better, then I'm going to do it. And you're providing these kimonos is your medicine woman. It's the medicine woman in you that's come back, and you're providing this service. And Reiki and yoga and meditation, I think these services that we provide and women come to, because we know that this is how it should be, and we don't need these big pharmaceutical companies giving us drugs and telling us, and I think men also feel that as well. We're our own medicine. We can heal ourselves. And I think that's everything that you said.
But it's like, it's hard though. Like people think meditating and yoga and so on, it's like whatever. I must say, like also to the listeners, it is hard. Like that's why you don't do it daily. It's so much easier to go and take a pill. So much easier. And trust me, when I'm that time of the month and I'm in pain, I've tried to not take a pill, but I think I've spoiled my body. Like I'm so much in pain, I'm going to go and take a pill, right? But I know that there is this out there that I can just breathe it out. I can breathe it. I can do like certain herbs, the tea and so on. Like now I have the time, but previously my job, there is no way. It's like pop 3 pills and then stand up and give presentations, right? But just like not to drift away, I want to say like, it is very proper work to be spiritual, like and I don't want people to get scared after they try 1 or 2 or 3 times. It's a proper commitment. It's working, but nothing good comes easy, right? So it's a dedication. Whatever you do, the breathing exercise, meditation and so on, like just stick to it and don't get defeated, because people think, oh yeah, come on, you just sit there, you don't think of anything. It's harder than going to boot camp, by the way, much harder. Like I rather go sometimes Paris boot camp than sit with myself 60 minutes. It's like, it's easier to go and run myself crazy than sitting with myself. So when people know that, I think they're like, oh, okay, so I failed, I can try again. Try again. And then one day it's clicking,
Yeah, totally. And it is. And once you've got it, once you've persevered, especially with meditation, like say sitting with yourself, that's a skill. And then I think the modern world, we're so like, you see people who complain that someone's read their WhatsApp 2 minutes ago and they haven't replied, and everything is now, quick. And stepping away from that and going, do you know what, I'm just going to sit for 60 minutes and observe your thoughts and just let watch what's going on there, let them come, let them go, is a lot harder than you think. But when you have that skill and you can step away from the quick, There's no going back.
It's much more rewarding, like again, if you go for a quick run, you know, you feel good after you have adrenal pumping. But if you sit with yourself, and of course the first hour will be like so crucial, because there are thoughts you don't want to talk about, think about. You're going to be starting thinking about 10 years ago what happened and so on, and that means that shows how much depth you actually have. And the longer you keep the depth, the worse it's going to get. And little things start triggering you, like having a glass of red wine with girlfriends and you start crying without knowing why. It's because 15 years ago something happened and you didn't sit with yourself. You just are scrolling TikTok, which, by the way, I do all the time. It's like, but it's like it's a crazy work. We work on ourselves every day, like every day.
Yeah.
And the more we run, the more we're gonna suffer.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Thank you. And I think that's a nice place to end there. We've covered so much, and I really hope that listeners, it was helpful. Definitely go and check out Kimono Girl. So I'll put the website, the Instagram, everything you need in the show notes as well. And yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to either of us, depending on what your question is. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you hopefully in the flesh soon, and we'll definitely, we'll get something together.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun. I love this free flow conversations. There's so much to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And that's it today, everybody. I hope you have a lovely week, and I'll see you again next week. Don't forget, 5 stars, download, tell your friends. You're amazing.